Kyoungwon Lee, also in SpecFic. Thank you for that reading, Victor. It was amazing. I'm a Korean American femme with shoulder-length brown hair, jade green glasses, wearing a shirt with pink roses, and against a blurred background. I'll be reading an excerpt from the first chapter of my novel, which begins with a stranger knocking on the door of a family's home set in 1920s occupied Korea. This stranger is a teenage girl named Hyun. She asks if she can spend the night and has some white rice to share. The family gladly receives Hyun, and the scene begins after dinner as they prepare to sleep. It's told from the perspective of the daughter, who early on finds something off about this stranger. Noticing her worn brown hanbok, I asked, "언니, would you like to borrow something comfortable to sleep in?" "Yes, please," Hyun responded. I went to my drawer and found a pair of warm leggings and a long-sleeved cotton shirt. When I turned around, she was already in a state of undress. A black shock of hair sprung from between her lean legs, and she had no underclothes on. I coolly handed her the clothes while not meeting her eyes. I retrieved my own pajamas and receded to a dark corner of the room to squirm into them away from her sight. Hyun was lying on her back, staring curiously into the ceiling. I didn't need to look carefully to know her face transformed again, that strange smile reappearing. A small helplessness rose in my heart as I glanced at my parents' paper door. Tiny cramps began making their way to my lower belly, and I burped softly. They had left me alone with this stranger. I blew the candles out and pattered to the station of blankets where Hyun laid with her eyes still open. I pulled the heavy blanket over myself and turned on my left side away from her. Soon morning will come and this girl will be on her way to Incheon. I was at the edge of sleep when I realized Hyun was mimicking my breath, a shadow breath. When I inhaled deeply, so did she. I exhaled and she followed like a stray dog. I let off a wispy sigh and she sighed right back. A tingling crawled up my spine while my stomach churned hot with indigestion. I must have eaten too fast. As if listening to my thoughts, Hyun asked, "Did you enjoy dinner?" Pretending to be awakened, I mumbled, "Yes, Onni." "I'm glad your mother ate the rice," she continued. "Your father? He smells like dirty sea foam and fish guts. Is he a fisherman?" Surprised by her manner of tone, I replied, "Yes, he is." "Your mother will be due soon," she announced. "Do you wish to have a brother or a sister?" "A sister," I said. "A girl is such a risk in this world," Hyun said. "What do you mean?" I asked. "You know," was all she said. A lash of pain strapped across my belly and I groaned. I curled more into a fetal position. "You're hurt," she whispered. "I think I ate too fast and now there are hot needles in my stomach," I shared in pain. "Here, let me help you," she said with tenderness and sat up. "Lift your shirt up and I'll rub your belly to calm it." Hyun was convincing in her motherly tone. I lifted my shirt for her and she pressed her warm palms into my belly, swirling and kneading the aches gathered there. In the darkness, I received her sensible hands and soon fell asleep. I woke up to my stomach, cold and exposed, from the draft seeping in from the winter wind outside. It was not yet morning and Hyun was gone. Her borrowed clothes were folded and hanging on a chair. The paper door to my parents' room was partially opened. Just outside the front door, I could hear Hyun's rush footsteps. I peered out the front window in hopes of catching her. I did. She waved and slipped into the darkness of the northern path, just as Appa told her. Then I heard a cry from my parents' room. It was Omma's voice, split at the seam. I followed a light in their room and upon sliding the door fully open, saw Appa's neck slit clean in the middle. His eyes were closed peacefully and his head rested on the pillow with no sign of struggle. Blood streaked across the linen and still under the blanket next to him, my swollen Amma gasping for air, stunned by her husband's condition. My limbs went numb. I held my belly, and all I could say was, Oma, your face. Oma touched her face with both hands, and the blood smeared on her cheeks, eyebrow bones, and forehead. She searched her face like it would bring Appa back to life. Thank you.